Hello.
Hey Neil, how's it going?
Good, thanks, Melissa. How are you?
Not too bad.
You've got a bit of time to chat now?
Yeah, I was just at Pilates before. I was mid Pilates class.
Sorry to disturb you.
No, that's alright.
So,
Me and my mum were bailing anyway. We were like, fuck this.
okay, you're ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going to Pilates at my age, I don't think.
Oh, my mum's like 67 and she's going with me and she's struggling.
Yeah, well, good on her for having a go at 67, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, we've been going to the gym for the last year and a half. So.
Excellent. Now, you're okay with me recording our conversation?
Yeah, I know you record them all.
Yep, no worries. Well, I don't record them all. Sometimes people don't want to be recorded, so I leave it off, and sometimes they're okay with me recording it as long as I don't release it, so I have to do that too sometimes. But it's just a good way of hanging on to the information because my brain's overloaded with information.
Yeah, it would be. I hadn't actually listened to quite your channel since, because I found your channel when I did see it.
Okay.
And I had to listen to some of the videos, and then I haven't listened for a while, and then it popped back up on your scrolling page, and I was like, oh yeah, there's more South Australian sightings than what I thought.
Oh, there's hundreds and hundreds of South Australian sightings. We get fresh ones from South Australia every year, and we always get a couple of historical ones as well.
I lived near the Onkaparinga Gorge, so I was having a listen to the Kuiper one that you...
Oh, he was good, wasn't he?
I was like, oh my god, like that's nuts, and that's not far off from where I live, because I'm a stone throw away from Kuiper.
Yeah, so you're right in the thick of it there.
Yeah, pretty much at the foot of the hills there, right next to the gorge, so...
Oh yeah.
I said to my partner, like, we spent the time to get back in Naracoorte there until a couple of years ago, so I said, you don't know what's up there.
No, and look, when I did my first radio interview back in 2016, a guy rang up who lived in the Onkaparinga Gorge, somewhere near Clarendon, I think, and he described something quite horrific, actually, that he'd been through, and he was quite shaken by it, but he reckons it used to come through every year, and the horses would go nuts, and he was quite traumatised. Yeah.
You could range road and that.
Yep.
Right near where you go up, you go through Clarendon off the Cox Hill Road.
Yeah, I know that area quite well. I'm from South Australia, but I live in Tassie.
Yeah, I see maybe now you're in Tassie.
It's pissing down with rain at the moment. Yeah, so your sighting was in December 2022?
Yeah, I just pulled up the photos to double check to make sure that it wasn't that, and it was, the 8th of December 2022.
Okay, now, I won't worry about it now, but could you send me a bit of a drop pin on a map to show me where you saw it at some stage?
Yeah, I drop pinned where I reckon. I'll just bring it up because my pin should still be there.
Okay.
My partner and I both had a sus through to try and see whereabouts it was.
Yep.
That we saw it, because we remembered that there was like a dip on the side of the road and it went into a little bit of scrub in the paddock.
Okay.
And on one other side of the road it was a row of trees.
Yep.
And I know it was on the road that we were on.
Yep, that's the road from Naracoorte to Robe, yeah?
Yeah, Lucendale Road it's called.
Oh, that one, okay.
I'll just send you a screen cap now because my pin's been there for the last couple of years.
It's one of those things, when it happens, it's quite profound.
I've been wanting to go back, but you'll never see it again, I know that, but I said to my partner, I'd love to go and go camping out in Naracoorte one time and just try.
We've got about 8 cameras in the Naracoorte area. Mark Taylor manages them on a property a fella that I got to know, and then I moved back to Tassie, so I put him onto Mark. And Mark's been going down there a couple of times a year, checking the cameras quite regularly. He was only there on the weekend, actually, at Naracoorte. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but in the 60s and the 50s, there was hundreds of sightings in the southeast because they were clearing flat out, see? So the animals were getting flushed out.
I was looking up that, and that's how I came across your channel, because I think you covered that a few years ago.
Yeah,
there was
covered it.
A few sightings across Naracoorte.
I've covered it quite a few times. So, and did you see the video with Kath Alcock, the old lady?
I don't remember names exactly. I more so remember the stories.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I've seen one story that you did from 2020 of a couple Naracoorte as well.
Yep.
That was an on-site interview that you did.
Oh, when we were out on the road. Yeah, that was last year, I think I did that interview. They were great witnesses.
Was from 2020 or something.
Yeah. All right, so let's hear it. That's
when I went through the date and was like, oh, when did I go? But it was 2 years later.
So yous were down there on holiday or just cruising around? What were you doing?
Yeah, we went there for a holiday. My son had never been to Mount Gambier before, so I took him down to Robe, took him to the lakes, and we went to the caves, and I'd never been to Naracoorte Caves before. Okay,
cool. So were you actually, so you'd stayed in Naracoorte, or you'd just been there for the day?
We stayed in Robe. We drove to Naracoorte Caves from Robe.
Okay.
To go look at the caves for the day, and then we were heading back to Robe. We were staying at the Discovery Park.
Yep.
Down at Robe.
So what happened?
Well, we came out from the caves. It would have been about 4:30 maybe.
Yep.
So pretty late, and it would have been daylight savings then. So it was probably only just starting to go a little bit dark about then.
Yep.
And we were heading back, and we got just out of Naracoorte, and I was looking at my phone and like watching the maps to try and make sure we're getting back the right way, because I remember there was a turn off to Lucindale.
Correct.
And my partner like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, what? And he goes, that. And I look up, and there's just this thing cruising down, walking on the side of the road a little bit on, like on the opposite side of the road. And then it started going across the road, and it kind of had that hop, like you guys describe it as a gait or whatever. It's like that weird teeter-totter hop.
It's got a bit of a skip.
Yeah, it's not quite a kangaroo, but it's like it's so hard to describe when you actually see it. And so freaking shocking as well. And I saw its tail, and at first I thought it might have been an emaciated dog until I saw its tail. And I'm like, what is that? And I said to my partner, is that a fucking tiger? I'm like, look at its tail. And then it stopped, looked at us when it got to the other side of the road, like it looked back at us and then scampered off into the bush. And we'd freaking gone past where it stopped and gone past into the bush. We turned around, gone back. We couldn't see anything at all. So we'd actually stopped, done a U-turn, gone back, tried to see what this thing was. And we couldn't see it. It had gone. But the freaking back end of it, it just looked like the rump of it. It was like as if a kangaroo and a dingo had a baby. That's the way I would describe it. Because it had that kangaroo rump to it, and the tail was so freaking long and straight. Like, there was no way that could be any other freaking animal. That tail was just indistinguishable. And it was darker on its back end. It looked like it had a bit of mange or something.
Okay.
That's at least what I could see.
Yep.
It looked darkish, greyish, like not quite brown, but it was like a dirty brownish grey.
Yep.
And its back end was even darker than that, and its tail was even darker. And we kind of thought we could see stripes, but to us it looked like mange, because we could not distinguish that is what we were seeing. We were like, is it, like, was was that stripes. Like, that was a darker back end, and it was just so fucking shocking. I just, yeah.
How far did you have to hit the brakes or anything? How far in front of you was it?
We didn't have to hit the brakes. It was probably about 10 metres in front of us, I reckon.
Okay.
And we were doing about 80 to 100 Ks. And this thing managed to get across the road in front of us. And, like, we had just gotten near it as it went into the bush. We were probably about 5 metres away from it.
Okay.
Or 3 metres when it had gone into the bush. And I even had my phone in my hand and everything, and I didn't even think to pull it up and start recording because we were just so shocked at what we were looking at.
Yep.
And my son was in the car as well in the middle seat. He's seen it too.
Oh, excellent.
And he's autistic, and I asked him today, just before I rang you, because he's home today, he's got a student free day. I said to him, do you remember what we seen? And he goes, yeah, well, that was a tiger, wasn't it? Because he looked it up on the internet since.
Okay.
And he reckons that's what we seen, because he's seen it as well. Because he was in the middle seat, he watched it go right in front of the road as well.
Yep.
And he remembers seeing the long tail. So I've said to him, are you sure that that's what you reckon you seen? And he's like, yeah. And he's done research on the internet about them, because then afterwards he asked me, you know, they can open their mouths really wide. And I'm like, yeah, shame we didn't see that.
How old's your lad?
He's 15 now, but he would have been
13.
12 at the time.
Okay, yep. Oh, yeah, 3 years ago. My bad. 2.5 years ago. My maths isn't great.
His birthday's in the middle of the year, so I had to remember, yeah, he would have been 12 then. So.
Yep. If you had to compare it to a breed of dog for size, what sort of breed of dog would you reckon you'd compare it to?
Definitely bigger than a pit bull. It wasn't that big. To me, it would have been, yeah, a little bit bigger than a pit bull. Had the similar, like, you know how they sink in at the gut?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It was almost an emaciated, large pit bull. But the head on it was so wrong because it was so skinny at the front. So, yeah, it looked like a, mangle of things. I couldn't describe what kind of dog it would be because it didn't look like a dog.
So you live near the Onkaparinga Gorge.
Yeah.
You've probably seen a few foxes before.
Oh, yeah, this definitely was not a fox. I've seen huge foxes. This was not a fox. The way they run, they hit low to the floor when they run across the road.
Right.
And they run real fast, and they look straight when they run. They don't have any sort of hop to them that I've seen like this.
Yep. Did it look at you at all?
It looked back at us, like looked up at us, and I reckon I could see curvy ears, not quite cat ears, not dog ears, had no tip on its ears.
Okay, so they were rounded.
I saw its head more than me. I was more so looking at that rump and the tail going, what the fuck?
Yep.
My partner's the one that looked at the head quite a bit. He said that head was so wrong. He said it was so stocky, so wide. I said, did you notice its ears? And he didn't notice its ears. I said it looked like it had rounded ears.
Okay.
And we know dogs all have tips on their ears, and we know cats all have tips on their ears. So.
Yep. So, how long in time do you reckon you were looking at this thing from when it was running along the side of the road to crossing the road? How many seconds you reckon you got to look at it?
I reckon probably 20 seconds.
That's pretty good.
It felt like a moment had stopped in time.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, that's just how it felt. Felt like everything just slowed down. So it was probably 10 seconds, but to me it felt like 20 seconds.
Sure. No, that's a fair assessment. Did you tell any other family members or friends about it when you sort of had a chance to think about it all?
Well, we discussed it amongst ourselves for quite a while. And then I told my mum. My mum was like, oh yeah. And I told my dad, and they're skeptical.
Yep.
But they didn't say, oh yeah, no, you're full of shit or anything. They're just like, oh yeah, it could be. They like didn't doubt me or anything. So and I've kind of kept it to myself since I wanted to tell you and message you, but I've sat there on it for so long going, like, would I seem like I'm crazy by finally telling people? And I know you record these and put it on YouTube, and I am a YouTuber, so I was like, do I send it in? Do I not?
That's fair enough. There's a lot of harsh critics out there that make you feel pretty ordinary sometimes.
Every time I've actually told someone, I've told them with such assurance, and every time I've said it to someone, I've gone, yeah, I reckon I did see a thylacine that day.
Yeah. So you just left the Naracoorte caves when you saw this thing. Did you go into the animatronic section in the caves there where they've got all the working models of...
Yeah, so we had just seen, like, made up thylacines.
Yep.
This thing looked a lot skinnier than what they were portraying in their thing.
Yep.
But the tail was pretty spot on.
Yeah, okay.
So we had just been looking at, like, prehistoric stuff. We'd just been told that there were thylacines in there.
Yep.
And so we were pretty fresh for what we were looking at, going, that looks like the tail we just looked at.
We've had a few sightings around Naracoorte over the years, and in the odd one in recent years. That couple from a couple of years back is a good example. Lucendale...
Have you gotten many that have said they're like dark greyish or...
Yeah, there's quite a few people that see them and say, I couldn't really say it was striped, but it was definitely not a dog or a cat or a fox or anything like that. The stripes isn't the be-all and end-all of a description,
It's that hot.
The gait is definitely a big part of it.
It teeter-totters back from its front to its back.
Almost like it's rocking?
Yeah, like a rocking.
Yeah.
That's how I've described it, as teeter-tottering. It's like, because you say gait or something like that. You say gait to me, I think of my friend with MS who walks with a gait.
Yeah, yeah.
And but it's not like that. It's like a teeter-totter. It's like a gait walk from the front to the back. It's like a teeter-totter.
Almost a little bit like the way rabbits take off. When a rabbit takes off, they sort of run with the front feet and they kind of skip with the back feet.
Up at the back.
Yeah. It's very similar.
See, I've seen kangaroos run, and I've seen them jump on all fours and come towards you, because like, I've been to Cleveland and stuff a few times and fed roos, and I've seen them hop up to you on all fours, and they use their tail to brace themselves.
Yeah, so they don't fall over.
And this thing's tail was completely straight.
Yeah.
Completely out. It had no bend in it. I was like, that can't be like anything else.
Yeah, it comes down to, well, what are the possibilities? And you're left with, 2 or 3 things sometimes, or one,
Well, me and my partner, we have a saying called kangaroo fox when you don't know what it is.
Yep.
And so I'd written half a book, because we'd gone for walks and that, and we were talking about, like, it's a kangaroo fox when we were out in the gorge one time. And this was before we'd seen that. And so I started writing a book, like, that would be funny to, like, do a kangaroo fox book. And then I seen that, and I actually put it into my book. And I actually did a picture, illustration, because it was, like, meant to be a kid's book.
Yep.
And I've actually got an illustration, drew kind of what we saw.
Okay.
And put it into my book.
Excellent.
So I've actually got a picture in my kids' book. I've got to log into my old iPad again to be able to send the picture to myself again.
Okay.
But yeah, I've got like my own illustration of what I saw that I've put in a book.
Yep.
So I don't think I've got it on my actual phone.
Well, you might want to hang on to that for your own copyright reasons, you know, for when you do your book. But if you want to send it through, I'm happy to have a look.
Send you the picture of just the one page.
Yep.
So that you can kind of get an idea of what I was looking at.
Yeah.
I kind of did it as the bit where it stopped and just looked up at us.
A lot of the sightings, people say it wasn't remotely interested in us. It was on its course and it was going that way and it didn't even pay us any heed. Occasionally they do stop and look, and then occasionally when they do look at people connect with them and it's like they were mesmerised by it. That's another thing that happens as well.
Well, I've been fascinated ever since I've seen it. I've just been, obsessed, as you could say.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Secretly to myself, I've been obsessed, and my partner's only just heard that I've actually been watching your videos and that, and I said to him, well, I've told him.
Well, I hope it doesn't create any dramas.
I'll ask my partner, do you mind if I say this? And he's like, no, go for it. He's like, I reckon that was a thylacine, so go for it.
Yep, oh, that's good. He's got your back. That's good.
Oh, he's pretty adamant that was a tiger that we seen.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit the description of anything else.
No, it doesn't. Just the way it hopped across the road, it just, that's what got us. It was the way it moved.
So it'll be a while ago now, about 8 years ago now, but a truck driver from Naracoorte saw one on the same stretch of road.
On Limestone Road?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Broad daylight, about 10 in the morning. He was coming from Robe back to Naracoorte, I think. I've actually met him in person briefly through my other friend in Naracoorte there. And there's a historic sighting from the Limestone school bus from 1967, I think it was. Where
I reckon that's the video that I watched of yours.
Yeah, I've brought it up a few times. But this thing came out and ran alongside the school bus at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was about 8 kids on the bus watching it and the driver, and apparently it did it once more or twice more as well, about 2 or 3 times. This thing came out and ran alongside the school bus like a happy little dog kind of thing. So Limestone, Naracoorte, Robe, Penola, out towards the Victorian border where there's a bit more bush. There's a lot of sightings through all that area. They've been there the whole time. What would you say to a scientist that was standing there trying to tell you saw a mangy fox and that you're delusional?
I'd tell them that if a fox could hop like that, I'd freaking pay him probably a couple of grand. If they could get me a fox that could hop that way, exactly that way, and have its back end look like that, like a fox does not have a big, massive rump looking thing on its back end. It does not look like it's got kangaroo back end.
Yeah, that's a pretty distinct feature. But yeah, if you ask an expert, they'll tell you they've been extinct for at least 3,000 to 4,000 years on the mainland.
Nah.
Despite...
I think they're full of shit.
Yeah, they are full of shit, unfortunately. Full of their own opinions rather than looking at the evidence that's available for them to consider, And in science, you're meant to consider all the evidence, not just your opinion. And that's where they fall flat on their face, and they fail the scientific process as far as I'm concerned. I mean, in the last 2 months, we've had a sighting in Arnhem Land from some Aboriginal people, saw one. But, what would they know, yeah? Scientists would know more about them than them fellas. Yeah, of course. I'm being sarcastic. But we had another sighting up near Mount Barker about 5 weeks ago.
That recent?
Yeah, that recent. So we always get at least, on average, probably I'm going to say about 5 sightings a year from South Australia, maybe 8, 10 from Western Australia, maybe another half a dozen from Victoria. We don't get many from Northern Territory because there's just not a lot of people up there. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Because I'm going to Darwin in a month.
Okay, well, look, if you're heading out bush...
Well, we're going to Litchfield.
Oh, okay. Well, be careful there.
Litchfield's full scrub.
Yeah, I know Litchfield. I've been there, and I had a report there of something way bigger than a thylacine from another Aboriginal fella who didn't want to do an interview. But what he saw, he described as they sort of looked a bit like a Rottweiler, but bigger, with big long tails, and they were all black with white stripes. And there was 2 of them.
Black with white stripes?
Yeah, him and his kids saw them, and they basically, from what they described, they saw marsupial lions. So that's Thylacine. So be careful in Litchfield. You don't want to be on the menu.
Yeah, that sounds a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Because we were above Florence Falls. We're going back to Florence Falls so we can try and go to the bottom this time. We went in the wet season.
Yep.
So we couldn't go swimming or anything like that.
Because of the crocs.
But, yeah, I took a photo and I got home and across the creek was a saltwater crocodile. I could see its mouth and everything. I was like, oh, that looks like a tail. I followed it, and at the end of the freaking tail, there's this snout, and it's staring straight at us, and that is actually a swimming hole, but this is before they did their croc survey.
Yeah.
So they do their croc surveys, I think, end of April. We went up there March.
I went up there in...
I didn't even know it was there until I got home, looked at the photos, and there it was. So you don't even know that they're looking at you until you get home and you start doing your editing and you're bringing up your contrasts and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, it's a bit spiky to be a tree.
Yeah.
That looks like a tail. Because I've always wanted to see a croc in the wild, but we haven't yet. We haven't spotted it. I just got it on camera, obviously.
Sure, it saw you though.
Yeah, but we've been we've had some really weird animal experiences. Me and my partner, we went to the Daintree and we were leaving the Daintree and we seen a cassowary and its chick. And my partner's best mate had lived up there for 10 years and not seen one out in the wild.
That's another one you've got to be careful of. They'll kill you, those things.
Oh, we were in the car and my partner stopped and it was the same thing. It was crossing the road and we stopped and watched and we were in shock that we just saw this cassowary in front of us with his chick, which is a rare thing to see. And I'm panicking going, we're in a rental car, don't fucking stop. This thing will attack the fucking car.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of things like that, like them attacking the cars and that.
Yep. I've actually jumped off of Florence Falls back in '89 into that big puddle below there, not knowing that there was ever a chance that I could have got eaten by a saltwater croc. But yeah, they do get up there apparently.
Salties get in there.
Yeah. So I was very lucky. I've got a photo of me actually when I was a skinny young man jumping off that waterfall.
That's a fucking tall waterfall to jump from.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of ledges on the side. We went right up the top, but there was some ledges you could climb up to on the side of it. Maybe 10 metres up, 15 metres up.
Last time.
Yeah, well, we jumped off there, and then I found out only a few years ago that crocs do get in there. And I realised how lucky I was.
Crocs in there.
Yeah,
there's always freshies.
Yeah, the freshies, but the saltwaters do get in there as well, so... Scary thought.
From Wangi a week before we went there.
Yep. But yeah, I've been up there and I actually picnicked along the creek there one day with a friend of mine up in Darwin, but you gotta really keep your wits about you when you're out in the Australian bush, because we've had this false sense of security all our lives, thinking there's nothing out there like a lion or a bear that might eat us, but there actually is things out there that might eat us, and it might actually explain...
Those Dreamtime stories don't come out of nowhere.
That's right, yeah. It might actually explain why so many people go missing when they're bushwalking and camping as well, you know?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of disappearances out in the Australian bush, and you kind of sit there and go, is it someone or is it something?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think on average about 6 or 7 people a year in Victoria disappear while out in the bush and leave all their shit behind, you know, their camp's all there, everything's there, but they're gone.
Well, look, they can't even find one bloke at the moment in Victoria.
Yeah, what chance have they got finding a thylacine or a panther or something? I mean, the government knows, you know. They know these animals are there.
If they can't find a human, there's no way they're going to find what, and like you said, I reckon they're going to cover it up.
Yeah.
The mining and logging.
Of course they are. They've always done that, you know. They've been covering it up ever since they've known it's there. So it always comes down to the dollar, unfortunately.
I mean, like our koalas, they say they're endangered, but they're freaking everywhere still.
Yeah.
And
well, a lot of...
if they were to find out that there's a thylacine out there, they would probably be like, yeah, no, we can't log, can't do this, can't do that until we figure out what's going to happen with it.
Yeah. No, well, there's no chance they want to consider the thylacine in any equation, because there'd be a huge uproar if someone proves it's there. There goes their 1080 baiting program straight away, you know.
Yeah, well, I noticed that as well. The dog signing, the changing of the dog signs.
Oh, you spotted that too.
Baiting for wild dogs.
Yeah, when you go down the southeast. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
good observation. Yep, it's no longer fox baiting, it's wild dog baiting. Yeah, you ask any ranger, any farmer down there, there's no wild dogs. So why do they suddenly want to pretend there's wild dogs there, eh?
That's the other thing that makes me more certain that what we've seen was a thylacine, because you said there are no wild dogs down that way.
There's not. There hasn't been for probably more than 100 years.
I was shocked that you said there's cats, like big cats.
There are big cats.
I've never heard of big cats in South Australia, just the ones in New South.
No, they're definitely big black cats. Whether they are a cat or if they're a Thylacine remains to be discovered. But there are definitely big black cats of some sort in South Australia.
Probably another form of marsupial.
Well, that's a Thylacine, you see, marsupial lion.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that's been extinct.
Too much research into the thylacine family, so...
Yeah, well, it's not. It's actually related to a koala and a wombat. It's not related to a thylacine, but it is a carnivore.
They just call it the very similar name.
Have you ever used Trove?
Yeah.
So if you type in unusual animal, monster, tiger, lion, whatever in there, you'll find hundreds of sightings of Thylacines.
Oh, yeah. I've just used Trove for genealogy.
Yeah, the Trove is a brilliant resource, but there's lots of old newspaper articles talking about something that looked like a bear, but it had big teeth and large claws and a long tail, and it jumped out of the tree, scared the crap out of everyone, and they all ran away.
I was about to say that sounds like a drop there.
That's exactly where
they always tell Americans.
Yeah, well, the media has done a good job at turning that real encounter into a joke, basically. So
I didn't realise it was a real encounter.
Well, it's a bit like those Aboriginal stories. They have an origin of somewhere, don't they? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot more out there than what they really want to admit. But time will tell, I suppose.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye out in Litchfield when I go up there.
Definitely keep an eye out in Litchfield.
We'll be going to Berry Springs, and then we'll be going back to Florence Falls to go down the bottom this time and go to the termite mounds. So when we go to the termite mounds, I'll be definitely keeping an eye out. Keep an eye out for footprints as well, and if you find any, get a photo and have something in the photo for scale, alright? Yeah, I'll probably have my hand or... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even a 20-cent piece is fine, as long as you've got something as a reference. Yeah. Or if I see any footprints up there, because it's usually pretty wet up there. Yep. And you see footprints pretty easily. Well, good luck with that. Well, if I find anything, I'll send it to you. No worries. And any more headless roos along Piggott Range Road or anything, send them through too. Yeah, I will. We haven't had them for, I reckon, 3 or 4 years. I haven't seen them. It's usually, in the Adelaide Hills, it's usually in the cooler months that it happens more, I think. But see, I haven't been out for a year because, like, I haven't been hiking all that for a while because of everyone getting mugged and... Yeah, you got to be safe. All this shit going on with everyone at the moment. Yeah. Just been going to the gym. All right. So I haven't been out hiking or anything for a while, but if I see anything, I'll let you know. Awesome. Good stuff.
All right, Melissa. Well, thank you very much for your time and your information. And yeah, if you send through that pin drop, I'll have a look at that, and I'll let Mark Taylor know. At least he can go out there for a squizzy when he's down that way next.
I've sent it to you already.
All right, no worries. I won't use it in the interview. I'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, just wouldn't want people going out there and trying to freaking hunt it.
I reckon hunters have got bugger all chance of catching these things, to be honest. You'd need a good pack of dogs, and you'd want about 2 weeks to track it down. And not too many people have the time to do that these days.
Well, the scientists can't even find them. Well, I don't reckon they're trying hard enough. But yeah, I reckon you wouldn't be able to. I reckon that was just a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah, it'd go through there again.
I'm going to be grateful to
It'd
have seen it once.
Yeah, you're absolutely in the club now, but it might go through there once every 6 months. It might go through there once every 2 years. Who knows, you know?
Well, I was having a look at the map, and like from the trajectory from where it was going from, you know, right to left, it's come from where there is scrubland.
And it's heading towards more.
And it's heading towards a conservation park.
Excellent. All right.
So I reckon, and this is, you know, full lagoons just out there as well.
Yep.
And there's lots of water sources, there's lots of drains. This is where all the drains are.
Yeah, well, they use the drains as a
Aboriginal
thoroughfare.
land out there.
Yep.
So there's land that, you know, people can't really go on.
And that's what keeps them safe.
Yeah, well, I had a good suss through Google Maps, and I could see a lot of game trails through these scrublands, and I'm going, that's pretty dominant to be a ruse, like going through being roos or foxes or something.
Yeah, there are a lot of deer down the southeast too, though. There's thousands of them, so they'd leave their mark behind for sure.
Yeah, we get deer up here as well all the time.
Yeah, we used to have them in the garden at Carrick Hill when I was managing the garden there. Up at, at what's it called there? Springwood? Mitcham, up the top of Fullerton Road there.
I know where that is. Yeah, I like Carrick Hill. That's a beautiful place there.
Yeah, we had about 60 acres of bush there, and about once every 2 or 3 months we used to get the Australian Deer Association in to come and pop them because they used to eat all the roses.
Yeah, there's heaps that go. They've gone from Onkaringa, from Second Valley, all the way up to like Cleland.
Yep.
Like I was coming out of the Gorge Road one time, and I was just at the bottom where you come out where all the nice houses are, and there's still Cleland National Park there.
Yep.
There was hundreds of them just on the side there. So there's lots of stuff for thylacines to eat.
Oh, there's no lack of prey. And they'll eat anything from a rabbit to a 6 foot high adult male kangaroo.
Yeah, so this is why I bring my cat in at night.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, my last cat, he used to go out all night, and I used to worry about him because of foxes. Now I've got a new cat, I bring him in, and I'm like going, I don't know what the hell's out there anymore.
Well, keep your ear out, you might find out.
Well, we've heard some weird things, like, out the back of my house at like 2 a.m. when we've come home sometimes from being out, and yeah, I've looked at my partner going, is that a fox? They make weird sounds out the back of you.
Yeah, no, you're in the zone, you're definitely in the zone. There's a long history of it through that gorge, so don't be shocked.
I'll tell my partner that, because he was questioning me. I'm like, what if they're in the gorge?
They are in the gorge.
And he's like, no. And I'm like, but you don't know.
There's a fella who lives at McLaren Vale that sends me photos of headless roos from the gorge every few months or every, once a year he'll send through something and it's another roo with its head ripped off and its lungs missing, you know.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend that lives on the other side of the gorge and she's on a winery, so I was thinking of telling her, you should keep an eye out for anything that you don't, deem a dog.
Yep.
Or a fox.
If you go up to Kaipo, you go up, Peters Creek Road?
I probably know it, but probably not by name.
It's just before Kangarilla, when you're heading from McLaren Flat to Kangarilla. Is it Kangarilla? I think it's Kangarilla.
Yeah, I know.
Peters Creek Road. Yeah, it goes up towards... Well, there's actually a Mount Panorama up there. in Kaipo itself. There's a Mount Panorama.
I was about to say, I got lost up that road.
Okay, well, we found
I thought I was going to Kaipo.
We found an adult male grey kangaroo who was about 6 foot tall, minus his head, right on the side of the track there in Kaipo about a few years ago now, about 7 years ago. But yeah, they're definitely up there, without a doubt.
They've just done a whole bunch of logging in that up there recently, so
that might have given them a bit of a hurry
around.
up. Yeah, they'll move,
Yeah,
but
they've also got tree climb up there now.
okay.
Next to Chookaloo campgrounds.
Yeah,
they
that's
cleared
right.
out half the Chookaloo to put in tree climb.
Okay.
And it's almost unrecognisable up there. Like I used to camp in Chookaloo where they've got tree climb now.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like all, yeah, it's been
They've-
pitched out.
They've stuffed it like they stuff everything else, basically.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try tree climb, but I'm still a little bit fucked off at how much they've actually destroyed the forest to do it.
Yeah. No, that's the government for you. They're good at that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to get going, but thank you very much for your time and your information, and you got my number now, so if anything else pops up, let me know.
Yeah, well, if I go back to Naracoorte and go camping and actually successfully find one again, I doubt it, but I'll let you know.
Good work. Awesome.
I'll look forward to listening to more interviews anyway, because you do a good job, man.
No worries. Cheers for that. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, well, at least someone is doing it, because every couple of years scientists say, oh, no, they're not here, they're not around, you can't find them.
Yeah.
And they're saying they're going to clone them, and it's like, well, what happens when you clone them? What happens to the original ones?
Yeah, well, that's just part of the smoke screen, I think. They're trying to clone people, not animals.
Yeah, I reckon you're pretty right with that. I listen to so many fucking hilarious conspiracy theories about them cloning celebrities and shit like that. So
Yeah, who knows?
Wouldn't put it past a conspiracy theorist to be right.
Nah. A conspiracy theorist is just a term that was developed by the CIA to shut down anyone who's a critical thinker and likes to ask questions, yeah? That's all that is.
Sounds like they're going to have trouble with that with half the autistic society at the moment.
Yeah. All right, mate.
They've got no filter.
You take it easy, have a good day, and hopefully you ring me again with some more info.
Oh, I hope so, because that'd be great to see that again.
Awesome. All right, well, good luck, and hopefully you can prove it before I do. That'd be
hopefully
even
this
better.
time I remember to press fucking record this time. My mother-in-law bought me a dash cam for Christmas, like a couple months, like a couple weeks later, and I looked at Sean and like my partner, and I was like, "Where the fuck was this like a month ago? We needed this in my car a month ago."
Ah, well, you're not the first person that could have filmed one and hasn't. Not to worry.
No, I had my phone in my hand and everything, and I was just in so much shock. And my partner was driving, so he couldn't pull his phone out, and I just stood there. I just sat there looking at it, like, what the fuck?
All right. You have a good day, and we'll chat again one day.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.